everybody, you may or may not know this, but the Japanese language have 3 writing systems. 3. The Japanese spoken language is fairly simple, however, its written form is not. When Japan introduced Chinese characters, they had to adjust their pronunciations and sometimes their meaning to fit their language. This is why kanji have 2 pronunciations, the Chinese pronunciation and the Japanese pronunciation, known as onyomi and kunyomi respectively. However, kanji still didn't play nicely with the Japanese language. They had no way to inflect adjectives or conjugate verbs, for example, so they had to go and develop a new writing system to fix this problem. For example, let's take a look at the word eat. This is the kanji for eat. The Chinese pronunciation is shoku. The Japanese pronunciation is taberu. Now, what if I want to say ate? Well, taberu means to eat, and tabemashita, its past tense, means ate. How can we make shoku represent this? Well, with hiragana. Here's when hiragana comes into play. Ta is the stem and is represented with the kanji shoku. Ru and bemashita are represented in hiragana to conjugate the verb. So you have this. Taberu, ta is the kanji and beru is hiragana. Tabemashita, ta is the kanji and bemashita is hiragana. Make sense? No? Takes a while to get it. Once you memorize the hiragana, it's a lot easier to figure this whole thing out. Hiragana is also used for sentence particles, names, and Japanese words where there's no kanji. Hiragana is purely phonetical. Those characters have no meaning. It is composed of 46 characters with a few variations. Each sound in the Japanese language is represented by a character in the hiragana. These include vowels such as a consonant followed by a vowel such as ka, or the N sound. With the exception of the N, there are no sole consonant sounds in the hiragana. This is why the hiragana is a syllabary and not an alphabet. Okay, enough with the orthography lesson. Why is it important to learn the hiragana as a calligrapher? Hiragana characters are basically the simplification of a specific kanji written in Sosho, cursive script. The invention of the hiragana is often attributed to Kukai, a famous Buddhist monk who traveled to China in the 8th century and learned calligraphy, poetry, and Buddhism. Kukai is also known by his Buddhist name Gobo Daishi. He was the inspiration behind the Daishi school of calligraphy, which focuses on the monk style of writing and the practice of the 8 basic strokes. Since hiragana are basically simplified kanji, they are composed of very few strokes, often have rounded corners and curved lines. This is a stark contrast to its sibling, the katakana, which characters are basically sections of certain kanji written in kaisho, or block script. Because of hiragana's delicate look and style, it was once considered a woman's style of writing. Men wrote in kaisho. However, over time and due to its abstract form, hiragana and sosho became the preferred form of calligraphy of Zen monks and artists. The rule of thumb in calligraphy is to practice the katakana to get good at kaisho and practice the hiragana to get good at gyosho and sosho. But more importantly, the practice of hiragana is going to teach you the concept of continuity. In gyosho and sosho, continuity is imperative. Each stroke needs to be connected, the energy needs to be present. Even if there isn't a visible line connecting the stroke, the end of one stroke needs to be pointing at the beginning of the next. So if you're starting to learn Japanese calligraphy, I strongly recommend you to learn kaisho first and maybe the katakana. But if you're eager to learn cursive style and more of the stylistic abstract style of writing, instead of jumping into kanji in gyosho and sosho, which can look simplistic but it's actually more difficult, I will recommend you to start learning the hiragana. Get good at the hiragana, practice the hiragana a lot, and that will make it a lot easier for you to learn how to brush kanji in gyosho and sosho. If you're interested in learning Japanese calligraphy, make sure you check the link down below for my Intro to Japanese Calligraphy online course. In that course, I teach all the fundamentals of Japanese calligraphy, including a little history about Japanese calligraphy, all the tools and materials, the 8 basic stroke, and more importantly, I teach you how to brush kanji in kaisho. So that's it for this video, just a quick introduction to the hiragana syllabary. I'm planning to do a couple more videos like this. Maybe the next one will be about the katakana. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll get notified when those videos come out. So that's it for this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.